Just trying to wait to get across this road, and then I'm gonna get into my broadcast. What I want to get off into. Let's see here. Hold on. Just give me. I'm waiting on some cars to pass by so I can cross the road. You know. Um, I don't know. Maybe if I talk about it, maybe y'all can relate to my struggle. You know what I'm saying? And but at the end, I got some good results at the end. You know what I mean of the video when I from what I'm fixing to say. Hold on, just give me a minute. I'm trying to get across this road because this traffic be real busy at time, man. So by the time this thing get clear, this will fill up. You be sitting here, damn, you're like 10 minutes and trying to wait on some traffic. And the car, they not gonna really let you back, or they be speeding because everybody's in a big damn hurry, you know. So I'm not gonna even sit up here. Okay, I just sit here. Maybe for me to sit here. I don't know. Yeah. I've been sitting here almost about seemed like 5 minutes. Shit, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised I got across. Seriously, I'm really surprised that I got across. That traffic be so heavy and it be so busy at times and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But oh yeah, they got that music. I gotta make sure that. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. All right, I'm pretty sure I got the music and everything out the way. Make sure there ain't no music because somebody came through there with some music. Hopefully nobody hear it because YouTube they copyright you for music and stuff. But anyway, can't read or write reminds me of slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's the title, video title. Can't couldn't read or write reminds me of slavery. Yeah. At one time I couldn't, you know. Every once in a while I have to look up certain words and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like certain words you don't get every day. And it reminded me of the story, the biblical story of y'all remember when Christ was gotten ready to be delivered before he was born. You had King Herod, they called him. I think because I know he was an Edomite. He came to was trying to seek the child to destroy Christ at his birth. You see what I'm saying? So when I think about that, I think about the people, the so-called Hispanics, blacks, and Native Americans. Some of them that probably might have, if they watching this video, they can relate to this. If you come on here, I know you'll be able to relate to this. Not knowing how to read and write, it plays a big slavery role too. You know. Now some people, a lot of people, about people didn't have that problem. You know what I'm saying? Because um, it might reading and not knowing how to read and write could not have been your problem. You could have known how to read and write, but you could have had a speech problem. You know what I'm saying? Like speaking, and it may take time. You start stuttering. A lot of people stutter. You see what I'm saying? So that could have been a problem. The reading and writing could not have been an issue, but the stuttering part could be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's different things that make slavery. It'll put you in a term and make you you know uh, it'll just remind you of slavery because it when you think of slavery it thinks of you being confined to something. You can't even understand your history. When you think of not knowing how to read and write, you think of not knowing your history. You think of you can't learn your history. you think of a restriction just being put on you. You see what I'm saying? But the difference between the so-called white man or the Caucasian, I have to say it this time because I'm bringing out specific points, so I got to point that out specifically who these people are. Uh, when they kids, look, let me tell you something. When so-called white people see their children at a like babies, they can tell if something dealing at a birth defect when they first come out the womb of those Edomite women, Caucasian women. They immediately, as soon as they get old enough to talk, or maybe before they start talking, because you never know, they got stuff now that can, they do something to embed, probably can put some kind of brain, you know what I mean, in them to the point to where they're gonna have the problem as they get when they started before they start talking. You know what I'm saying? Uh, when a Caucasian man immediately see that in their child, it's just something about they have the educational resources. They can go and they can educate their children. You see what I'm saying? They'll say, "Well, we got to do something about this." You know what I'm saying? They will take them through all kind of which I'm just making up something therapists and everything. By the time that child gets shit 9 or 10, shit, he damn near done got a college education at 10, because see they control the world. You see what I'm saying? And they're able to afford all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They're able to afford all of that. It's no problem with them getting educational resources is to educate their children. It's no problem with them doing that. You see what I'm saying? They don't have to walk around, their children have to walk around 30, 40, 50, and 60 years old not knowing how to do something. You see what I'm saying? But if you look at the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American communities, you probably find some of our people at 40, 50, and 60 years old don't even know how to read and write. You see what I'm saying? You probably have a lot of that. I'm just making an example because see, we grew up to where we got to go to them for everything. We got to go to them, and then you can't really get it because you have to have so much money in order to be able. We got to get out and go and get up and work hard and get up every day and go out here and work really hard. You see what I'm saying? And save up thousands of dollars just to be able to make sure your child got a good education and stuff, so that way you won't be owing loans and stuff. And then all this stuff that we have, education there is, you learning white supremacy. You ain't learning nothing about yourself. Even when you go to school for 12 years, you see what I'm saying? We don't learn nothing about ourselves because the highest grade is the 12th grade, right? So if you add that up from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, you're going all the way up to the 12th grade. Shit, by the time you reach the 11th or 12th grade, you ready to graduate. So that's 12 years. You done learned white supremacy for 12 years going to these schools and stuff. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because I know that the Most High put it up on my spirit is for me to speak on this here. And I guess it was too heavy for them. They had to get up out of here. But too bad. I'm going to speak the truth. You see what I'm saying? Uh, most. That's why you think most when our most of, and I'm gonna say it, most of our people when they go to school, right? When they go to school of white supremacy, it's setting them up and getting them prepared is to have a white supremacist mindset when you go, because most of you all, when we went to school for 12 years, we ain't learned shit. You see what I'm saying? And if you didn't know how to read or write in that way or something like that was pretty much a plus. They was happy about that because they say they look at it like this: this is another nigga we can use as a slave. This is another nigga that we can use is to not know. As long as he don't know how to read. We comfortable. You see what I'm saying? They don't want none of our people is to get a hold to Babylon Temple of Two and all of that. They it makes them comfortable. Say, hey, they going to school and we gonna do it because think about it. They gonna teach you everything that you need to know. If they gonna teach you, they gonna teach you white supremacist way. They gonna teach you their ways. And then plus, when you look at a lot of the books and stuff that they have now, although they have a little truth in them books, but it's not the whole truth. You see what I'm saying? See, like all these jobs and stuff that we work on, like look at that. That's a place where they have like phones and stuff like that. That when you come on these jobs, it's basically you learning their customs, you're learning their tradition. You got to speak their language. You got to just like we over here in America, we speak English, right? Okay, then when you're on these jobs, you're learning everything from your enemy, everything. When they send you to school for 12 years, like I said earlier, they getting you prepared and wanting to teach you how to be a slave. So when you come out of the schools, you don't know nothing about yourself. We don't know nothing about our history. We don't know where we come. They're not going to teach you that. Think about it. All of the people that have went to school, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives of America. What have you, when you filled out an application for a job, what did you put down as your race? Just think about that. Some people put French Creole. Some people put Creole. Some people put Haitian Creole. Some people put American, most of our people put American black on their applications and stuff. That's all you learned. You learned that you is a African American. What the hell does that mean? African American. African and American. How can you be two continents or two nations at the same time? When I digest all that from watching this over the years, I say, damn, this elder is right about like a lot of this stuff. You go to these white supremacist schools for 12 years and you don't know nothing about your history, about your people, about they people, your great uncles, none of that. But you go to school for sure to learn everything of how to be a damn slave and be an Uncle Tom and be a coon and a sellout to your own people. That's what you went to school for. And then also, let me tell you another thing. They teach you how to go to school and embedded in your brain is to take the Bible and say that Gentiles can be saved. They embed that in your mind. So when they see us speaking on things like this here, they hope that I would turn away my ears from this truth and start have my brothers and sisters wondering what happened to me. Like, oh, Clarence used to speak that only the that's what people want to hear. That they people watch you and they just sit back and waiting on your downfall so they can say, oh, okay, he was teaching 1 minute that everybody can be nobody can be saved but Israel, which is that's false. I mean, which is true that nobody can be saved but Israel. But they want me is to come on here and fall away from the truth and say, oh, everybody is included in that salvation. Everybody was slaves all of a sudden. Like, what the hell is Clarence talking about? And when you turn away from the truth like that, the so-called white man is very happy about that because that's what they want to do. They want you to learn how you once wasn't a slave, but now you turning back to your old ways, and now you want to turn. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, okay. Now they want you to turn back from your awakening set, what they call what's that word? Aware, conscious. They want you to go from conscious to being unconscious, meaning not aware, and go back to those old ways. That's what they want us to do. They want something our brains is to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? Like going to school, like our people going to school right now. They go into the schools, and I guarantee, ask them what they learned in school. Many, how many of them coming out of school and learning and saying, I'm an Israelite, and that these other people put our people in captivity or in slavery. And the Bible says that they going according to Revelation 13 and 9 and 10. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leads into captivity go into captivity. Other nations gonna go into captivity. They not going to teach you that in the school. Of course, they're not gonna want you to say that. They ain't gonna want you to read that and break that down. No, but they want our people is to stray away from it. Just like we have some of, you know what I'm saying? They done strayed away, and now they actually. How do you go from standing up for the truth to falling away from the truth, and you decide to be a sellout Uncle Tom to your own people? You see what I'm saying? But we're living in a society. That's what not knowing how to read and write is. It seems like it takes you longer when you don't know how to read and write, although you can't get it, and God can give you the wisdom and open up, unseal, and give you the understanding and help you be able to break where God is able to do all that. But in your mind, you're saying, damn, man, I hate walking around suffering like that. When you're reading and then you come across a word, you know you're going to come across something that you can't break down. So you got to stop and you got to get you a dictionary. Well, today they got YouTube and they got Google, so you can look up things and you can really get it. You know what I mean? Back then, you had to go to the library probably and look up the words and get a dictionary to look up the words. But now you ain't got to do all that no more. But it's like you're getting it. Don't get me wrong, you're getting it, but you're getting it at a slower pace. Just like in slavery, all the people, look at that Esau. Yeah, yeah, Esau. I can't, man. I don't like. I can't stand Esau. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, like when I think of reading, of not knowing how to read and write, because see, during slavery, our people didn't have time. They didn't have time to read, or I mean, to read a book or something, because they didn't have books during slavery. All they had, all our people did, was worked. That's it. You go and read in Exodus 1. All our people did was worked hard. That's all they did. They worked hard in the field. They was slaves in the field and stuff. They didn't have time to do nothing else but to pick cotton and all that type of stuff. So a lot of our ancestors couldn't read or write. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them that's that died. That's been years for decades and centuries and stuff. If they was actually here on the planet right now, I'm just making an example. They can tell you what it feels like is to be uneducated and not know something, and they know what they can tell you they know what it feels like is to just work hard. You can't read and write, and you had you didn't know nothing about yourself. All you knew was hard work. You see what I'm saying? You didn't have time to do nothing else but work. Just like a lot of our people, our cousins and things who may be in their 70s and 80s, back then they probably didn't even didn't even have time to go to school. They had to work and stuff. You see what I'm saying? And that's sad. And nobody couldn't teach those people anything. You see what I'm saying? And that's sad too, because uh, I look at a lot of my people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And if you really, it's truly is of the Most High God, and you're a descendant of those things that happen to those people, it's gonna hurt your heart. It's gonna hurt your spirit. You see what I'm saying? Because we're living in a day and age to where they don't want you to preach this truth right. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, they want you to have a disability of not knowing how to read and write. But thank God for a lot of us that could now. You know what I'm saying? If somebody comes up, we can't. When you can read and write, people just can't walk up to you and just tell you anything. You see what I'm saying? Because number one, you can challenge them. You see what I'm saying? Now you can challenge them. You see what I'm saying? But back then, when I couldn't do it, I couldn't challenge anybody. I couldn't give them a challenge because I didn't know how, I didn't study enough, and I couldn't read anything in order to be able to say, to give them a challenge on what they was doing. What's the old saying? If you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And people can take advantage of you when you don't know something. You see what I'm saying? They can tell you anything. And so that's why uh, I care about my people, and the people are people that don't know. Uh, I know what it feels like is to be in a position. So what I know, I want to give it to my people. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. You see what I'm saying? Because that's where most of them, that's where they'll get you at. You see what I'm saying? And because think about it. If you think about it, the enemy don't want you to know nothing about your history. He don't. They don't want you to know nothing about it. They'll act like they do, but deep down on the inside, deep down on in that hidden enemy in them, that because a lot of the enemy, they try to, a lot of them hide who they are. Some of them come out openly, bold, racist, like bold demons or whatever, and some of them will hide who they is, or hide their how they feel about you. You see what I'm saying? Either way it go, you still can't trust them. You see what I'm saying? And see, like, let's just take an example. My cousin. My cousin probably he might have came up and went to school. My, I'm just saying, just cousin, great uncles, great whatever. You know what I mean? Might have came up to the point to where if when they was in a regular class with everybody else, and if you didn't get it or whatever, you just didn't get it. And that's how it was in the schools. If you didn't have the mindset is to be able to is to get what you were supposed to be getting, they didn't give a damn about you. Especially if you was a person of color, if you was a so-called black person, Hispanic or Native American person, they didn't give a damn about you. They just, well, they don't know hell. They don't know. If you don't know, how come you don't? They'll treat you cruelly. Well, you don't know. That's your problem, or whatever. So you had to just go with the floor and come into the classroom while everybody else was was able to get it quicker. Which if it was our people, it was a blessing. But for those people that grew up under that era, under that type of era or whatever, and things of that nature, then they can relate to me, and I'm much younger than they are. You got some of them are way much older than I am. You know what I'm saying? You got some probably 60s, 70s, and 80s that probably don't even know to this day how to do that. You see what I'm saying? Um, and that's the way when I think about something like this, and I'm thinking about slavery. I'm thinking about how the slaves were treated, and just imagine being a descendant of that, and you come from that, you come from a product of that, then you know what it feels like. It's to be confined. You see what I'm saying? But that's why I rejoice overcoming that, because I told the Most High that I wanted to overcome that. I said I no longer want to walk around here and not know how to do these things, or how to. I want to be able to explain myself and explain my history, explain everything, and learn who I am, and learn what I don't know, and learn what I need to know. And breaking words down, knowing how to go through stuff and read it and stuff like that, that's a big help. You see what I'm saying? And that's what slavery, can't read or write, reminds me of slavery. Can't read or write. That's what it is. Just reminds you of slavery, because they don't want you to know anything. You see what I'm saying? Why you think they still to this day lynching our people, mistreat our people, still being mistreated even when you try to work on jobs and stuff like that? You see what I'm saying? You ain't gonna see the Caucasian man walking around here and he having a problem be, coming somewhere and working somewhere, because you have a lot of our people that will be slaves to them and will be afraid to touch that so-called white person or whatever, because they know that they are treated differently. They are treated differently. I don't care what no one says. And the people, most blacks, I mean, our blacks, Hispanics, and Native American people, y'all, they know this. They know what I'm saying is true. Some of them are denied. A lot of people will deny it. But at the end of the day, they know that those Caucasian people are treated way better than a person of color. They know this, and they know it. They know that people of color, like ourselves, be discriminated against all the time. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk some more on this topic. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think of this here. You see what I'm saying? Because I really, you can tell I was pouring my spirit out into it. You see what I'm saying? Because it, you know what I'm saying? I can feel somebody else walk up. and tell me that they had the same problem or whatever, of course I can relate to it. You see what I'm saying? It ain't like I'm gonna sit up there and I ain't gonna know what they saying or whatever. If you done been through modern day slavery, if you've been mental slave, or we still in it to this day. You know what I mean? It may not be physical slavery, modern day slavery. I mean, ancient slavery. My bad. Ancient slavery may not be ancient slavery, but it's still modern day slavery. And guess what? If you are a descendant of the slave trade, listening to this, it won't consume you. But if you are not, what I'm saying, it will consume you. It will consume you. You wouldn't be able to stand in the presence of what I'm saying. So I'm up out of here and I'm gonna see y'all later. I'll be back. Let me know what y'all think of this video in the comment section, bro.